Our next storyteller is a speech language. I need her. Speech therapist. She also hosts children's storytelling events around Detroit. It's very cute. Please welcome Rachel Lott.
I'm used to telling stories to children, so bear with me for this story. So my mother and I have that really annoying type of relationship where we text each other every day, we call each other every day, we're in contact constantly. So she's all, she's super fit, she's an athlete, she swims and bikes, and she could definitely kick my ass. So this story takes place about 4 years ago, and I'm at work being a speech therapist. I had twins in my little classroom, I'll never forget. I looked at my phone because I was going to set a timer for our activity, and I had 14 missed calls. So, of course, my heart rate starts just like, I can't even barely breathe. They're all from my dad, one's from my sister. I'm like, something's wrong with my family, something's going terribly wrong, and I never thought this moment was going to come, especially with my mother. She's a strong figure, there's nothing that can go wrong with her. I've never seen her ill, I've never seen her weak at all. So I basically just get in contact with my dad. He's, get here as soon as possible. We're at Wyandotte Emergency Hospital, and it's not looking good for your mom. So I don't have a lot of memories from that moment. I drove about 100 miles per hour on the freeway, 75 south, and I do remember that the Phil Collins song with the drum had this hysterical laughter, manic moment of holy shit, what's gonna happen? So that happened, and then the only other memory is I drive up and I show up and I see my mother, and she doesn't look like herself at all. She's nonverbal. She looks wild. She just looks terrified, and she's looking at us desperately. My dad and I were both there, and I heard that she had just had a CT scan. I have a lot of background with medical stuff, so I'm she had a stroke, she's nonverbal. I'm never going to talk to my mom again. We're never going to have that relationship that we've had, and this is it. I was trying to keep it together. So I'm talking to her, and I'm trying to keep it together, and I keep going to the bathroom and hysterically crying, and then going back and being you're fine, it's gonna be okay. And I think I was somewhat convincing. So we're talking to the doctor, and he has no idea what happened with her. So the CT scan came back normal. She did not have a stroke. She's just still looking very frantic and trying to gesture to us, and she starts throwing up violently, and as soon as she throws up, she's talking to us, and she's starting to tell us what she experienced that day that led to the ambulance, that led to the emergency room, and that experience alone leads my father and I to say, obviously she ingested something, she has an allergic reaction, there's something that happened with her that after she is, getting this out of her system, she's able to communicate to us. So the doctor is he's a terrifying person. We are clashing with him. And my mother is also a veterinarian. She has a lot of medical knowledge, and she's basically just yes and no, nodding, no, that's not correct. And my father is also communicating to her this is. He was convincing her that she was having a panic attack. So we're all together saying to her, to the doctor, this is not possible, that she is this nonverbal and then, can communicate to us. So she has a couple hours in the emergency room where she continues to kind of slowly gain some consciousness, and she still does not look like herself. And we're very concerned that something's going to happen again, or that she's, that they didn't catch something on all of their medical testing. So she's released about 5 hours after she's admitted, and I'm just we're frazzled. We're what could possibly have happened to her that she's completely unable to communicate to us, and then she's kind of okay. So I get back, it's a school night. I remember I had work the next day, so I get back in my car and I'm driving home on the freeway, and she calls me completely coherent at home, and she's eating Taco Bell. And I'm just like, okay, I'm like still freaking out. I'm driving much slower, and I'm like trying to process this whole thing and wonder if like this is gonna happen again, or if she's just gonna be fine. So she's eating Taco Bell. She hasn't had Taco Bell in like 15 years, and she's like just happy as a clam. And so fast forward like 4 or 5 months. You know, we're so thankful that she's okay. Nothing ever happened again. My sister, who lived out of state, was like calling incessantly, "It's not okay, it's not okay." And my mom and I were Christmas shopping. We were in Royal Oak, like just kind of, you know, having a great day, and I'm feeling like very thankful that day for her. And I'm just like realizing that I can't believe that, you know, this whole experience happened with her, and that she is okay, and we're having this day where, you know, it's just a normal day. And so we end up in a bar, and we end up in Pronto, and we're just like drinking, and she, you know, we were just talking about the year and how crazy everything was, and I'm like, oh my god, this crazy story just happened. Like, one of my really good friends was, you know, about to go to work, and she had a cookie, and she got to work, and she realized that she was super, like, out of it. She thought she was maybe having a stroke. So, and then she realized it was a pot cookie. So my mom spits out her beer, like, all over it. As you can see, probably where I'm going with this story. She is like, oh my god, like, I never told you about this story because you guys were so worried about me, and I thought that, you know, I didn't want to like give too much information, but you know, I am okay, and I'm still okay because I actually had like 6 pot cookies that day by mistake, unlabeled, in the freezer. They were my dad's, and she had them with her coffee, and she her first symptom was just like double vision, like couldn't understand like what, she was like writing letters at the table, which I think is so cute, and then she couldn't figure out like how to continue like her thought process. She tried to use the phone to call 911 because she thought she was having a stroke, and she couldn't figure out like how to use the phone, and she wandered out into like the front yard, and anyways, so we were fooled. Like we had no idea I had no idea my dad had pot cookies. I had no idea my mom ate them all and then had to take a $900 ambulance ride to the hospital. But she's okay now, so.
That's amazing.